Thank you, Madam Chair. So you just happen to be the person who I think might give some insight into this. So we have, I think the Sullivan, I don't think the Sullivan's at capacity. So I see the homeless camping in the woods, camping elsewhere. It's at capacity? Okay. So my question may still be valid. So we open the shelters, yet some of the homeless are choosing to remain in the woods. How do we get them into the shelters, I guess is what I'm asking.
Well, the Golden Lion would be a perfect example because with I believe it's 68 rooms, 80, I apologize. With the 80 rooms, you would be able to build the community with permanent supportive housing. You would be able to build the community that the homeless population enjoys and respects and bonds with. People don't want to go places where their community are. I don't want to go places my community's not. I go, when I go have a drink, 9 times out of 10, it's at the same bar because I know people there, right? I'm assuming I go to the restaurants that I like. Black Cup is my coffee shop because I know everybody that works there. It's my community. That's how we get the people in, out of the camps and in, out of the shelters, is we build communities with permanent supportive housing.
Great, thank you, and thank you for what you do.
Thank you, Mr. Salt. Thank you for your testimony. Welcome. Please state your name for the record, your community council, or the area of the muni in which you live.
Try that again, please.
If you could just state your name and the part of the community where you live.
Oh, okay. My name is David Laser. I'm from Hatcher Pass, and the first time I've ever been here. You talk about an optional. When I grew up, streets were made for vehicles, sidewalks were made for people. So how do the people get hit if they're on the highways? I listen to the radio a lot. There's like 80% are the natives. I have to call them Indians. My children were born here. They're not native. This is not a white-black problem. It's an Indian problem. I say send them home to their native village. A native corporation is the problem, not a white problem. Why should we be paying for a native problem? Send them home. They would be happy there, and we would be happy. They could drink, smoke, do dope, and whatever they do in the villages with their own people, and they would be happy. After the Native Convention next week, let them take their homeless home with them. Anchorage, as it said here, 23,000 natives, but I forgot to add the 300 homeless people. For $500, you could fly 300 people back to their villages. It's only $150,000, and your problem would be over. Putting them in a hotel, putting them in places, feeding them. Next spring, next summer, you're going to have the same problem. No one talks about eliminating the problem. I say send them home. Send the bill to the Native Corporation. And the other 20% that's here, send them to San Diego where they have other friends. I get tired of seeing the people on the streets begging for money. You know, they have more money than I do. I can tell where they go and get in a car. I feel sorry for some of them. I know some good natives. I know some good black people. I know some good white people. But we need to eliminate the problem, not just put a Band-Aid on it and send them into a hotel or send them someplace for the wintertime. I guess that's it. Thank you.
Your testimony has been recorded. Mr. Dunbar has a question.
Thank you, Madam Chair. A comment and a question. I'll say, first of all, I find it deeply ironic to have anyone but an Alaska Native person telling them to go home in Alaska. My second thing to say, they are American citizens and Anchorage residents and members of our community, and we are responsible for taking care of members of our community. Now, my question for you, sir, is I have done the point in time count where you go out and you speak with people who are experiencing homelessness. Where do you think most of them say they are from or have lived for 20 or 30 years? The people in Anchorage. When you go and talk to people experiencing homelessness, where do you think they say that they are from?
They have to be from a village.
No.
They're
They say,
native people. Those are villages out there, and that's the natives.
I'll tell you, sir, my experience going out and speaking with people is folks say that they are from Anchorage. They have lived here for decades. Some of them were born here. I think we have this stereotype that people are just brought in from somewhere else. A lot of the people experiencing homelessness in Anchorage, whether they are Alaska Native or white or any other race, they say that they are from Anchorage. And they are members of our community. And
They don't work, they don't pay taxes, they do nothing. They
Order.
clutter up.
Madam
Looks
Chair.
like a septic tank where they live.
Hold,
Point of
please.
order.
again,
Mr. Vaughan,
my
hold,
question,
please.
I have a question I wanted to answer.
Mr. Dunbar, you
Where
need to
did
get
you-
to the point.
Where did you learn all this false nonsense?
Madam Chair, point of order, please.
Go ahead, Ms. Allard. What rule do you believe has been broken?
Let's just not debate. I understand both perspectives. I just hope we can move on and not debate with
Thank you,
the
Ms.
individual.
Allard.
Thank you.
I have asked Mr. Dunbar to ask his question.
I think I did. Where did you learn all this false nonsense?
Okay.
Point of order.
Thank you, Mr. Dunbar. Go ahead, Mr. Volin. What is,
You know, as painful as that testimony was to listen to, I don't think we're supposed to be engaging in debate, and I just prefer to move
agree.
on.
Thank you, Mr. Volin. Thank you.
I've lived here for over 50 years.
Thank you,
I've seen
sir.
a lot. Thank you.
Are there any other members of the public who wish to speak? No, sir, thank you. We have another person lined up, and then we have a phone list of 2 individuals. Welcome.
Roger Branson, a longtime advocate for consumers of mental health services, and the people I advocate for are overly represented in both homelessness as well as corrections. That last testimony was tough, and I thank Assembly Member Dunbar for speaking up. I feel dirty. That's not what I came up here to speak about, though. The homeless community is very much a network of folks who care deeply for each other. And I'm from Anchorage. I was born here in Anchorage. And I was displaced from Eagle River into Anchorage when I became homeless due to a variety of societal pressures. And the folks that are currently at Centennial Campground, we lost power about 5 o'clock today. The electricity is off. Things are very concerning for folks in there, and they're at the point where they could start making right decisions. But we got to have a place for them to go. And I think about the opportunity cost of the Golden Lion, that had we had it open for this last year, we could have cycled 100, 200 of those human beings with aspirations, with loved ones, with goals yet to accomplish through that, and had them on the track through supported housing, had them moving into the lower level jobs that we're having trouble filling right now. And I see that missed opportunity, and I think, what if? But what if isn't going to save the one that we lose tomorrow? And what if isn't going to save the one that we're probably going to lose the day after that? And I am for 93S. I encourage you to bring this facility online as quick as possible. And thank you for your service.
Thank you for your testimony.